Are we live, Mom? No music?
We're live, Shawn. I think you froze.
We're live. Fantastic. I love it. Barbecue Media, welcome to Rising Tides Live. I'm your host, Shawn Walchef. I have Joe Fontana. He is with Fry the Coop all the way from Chicago. He just got off the plane, Ubered over to our new barbecue restaurant. Not a new restaurant, but new studio. Usually I do these from my home studio. We say that there's no excuses to not tell your story. So wherever you are, we're grateful. This is our Friday show. So every Friday we do a show to showcase restaurant technology brands. And we're really excited for today's guest, Stephanie Florio. We will bring her up in a second. She's building something with her brother, Alex, and we can't wait to hear it. But before we get into it, let me introduce Joe. Joe, who are you? How many restaurants do you have? How many employees?
Oh, it looks like Shawn's internet froze. So producer will jump in for a second. We'll see if we can get it back. But we're about to do an introduction for Joe Fontana. Once Shawn's back live, we'll do that. But we'll go around the room and we'll start with Ben Morgan. So just give a quick introduction of who you are, what you're working on, and tell us about your restaurant.
Thanks, Mike. Hey, Ben Morgan. I'm with the 1925 Pub House Restaurants. We have two locations in Anderson, Indiana, and Muncie, Indiana. And I think Shawn was asking how many employees we have. We have about 90 employees as well. So always working on tech, brother. Always working on different things. That's for sure. Trying to get even more efficient and using them to their capabilities.
Perfect. Yeah, we're seeing tech in place. We're here on StreamYard, and we'll get Shawn back shortly. But appreciate it, Ben. Looking forward to having you. You haven't seen great episode of Digital Hospitality with Ben as well. It looks like we got Shawn back, so I'm going to put him on the screen. If we can find him. I thought I saw him for a second as I'm talking and maneuvering buttons at the same time. But Shawn, do we have you back?
We're back, baby.
Live.
Right, we're back live.
Barbecue.
We just introduced Ben. So Mike Ungaro was up next, Shawn, and I will hide in the background.
Thanks, Mike.
My turn. Mike Ungaro, CEO, Kings of Fish Media and San Pedro Fish Market, also co-owner. We have one of the largest, I would say most successful, one of them in the country, 70 years in business, 2 million served and continuing to grow, expanding not only in the LA, we're located in the LA waterfront, we're also nearby 10 miles away in Long Beach and about to break ground in the city of Monterey on Fisherman's Wharf. So exciting times ahead. And we have a series, Kings of Fish, which is streaming on Amazon Prime, which tells the story of our family business and who we are, what we do, and how to find us.
How do you guys find employees currently, Mike?
Well, what did we do? The most recent one was a little bit strategic. We didn't have a specific app. If we're looking for C-level, there's an agency we use.
Yep. If
we're looking for employees, I went and talked to probably 10 different employees that have been with us over 20 to 30 years. Had them tell their stories. We put that into sort of a marketing video, put it across all the social media platforms, and we had 200 people show up on a job fair over 2 days. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We had to start turning them away because by 11 o'clock at night, we just couldn't fill out any more applications. So
amazing. Very cool. Thank you, Mike. Troy Hooper.
Troy.
The Troy Hooper.
What's up, buddy?
I'll see you
Joe
soon.
Fontana is in San Diego.
He came right out of the Uber, and I made him sear tri-tip.
Oh, I believe you. Did you
he couldn't even take his backpack off
and record? Like when I'm walking down the hallway to conference, I'm getting recorded. Here he comes.
Then he made me clean the toilets and I can take the garbage out.
Nice. He's running his host shift. His host shift starts in about.
Hey Joe, do me a favor. Show Walchef how to actually run a restaurant while you're there, would you?
Ouch! I got a team for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Joe, I'm looking forward to seeing you this week, buddy.
Yeah,
I got a lot of praise and stuff to say to you because you're doing it. You're killing it. You're absolutely the greatest McDonald's CEO parody spoof fucking video on the internet. And I've seen 100 of them.
How many views?
I've seen 100 of them. This guy has the best video out there.
How many views does it have?
I don't know.
14 million.
Oh my
What?
gosh.
In total,
14 million.
In total, it's been seen like 17 million times between Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
Amazing.
Not following
Amazing.
Fry the Coop on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, give this man a follow. He is
So-
crushing it for a restaurant.
No, it's going to be the greatest thing that ever happened to your brand.
I know, yeah.
This fucking
Making
video.
fun of Chris K.
Gary V will tell you, man, make a video every day. One of them's going to go viral, so keep doing it.
100%.
You know, Charlie used to do it, but he doesn't do that anymore. I don't know why.
This is a Troy St. James session.
No,
What is
roast.
what is
I thought
that
this whole
about?
episode was a roast.
What
We're
is
not
that
roasting.
about? Where's the
Anyway, all
gravity
right. Now
you
that I've been
see
an
on
ass
the
and
level?
everybody,
When I go live, you're still in bed, Troy.
Yeah, none of you ever text and say I'm going live. Sean's live all the time. I don't even see it anymore. He used to get
Go
text
ahead,
so I
Troy.
can help moderate. He
Troy,
doesn't like
who
to
likes
moderate.
who are you,
my
Troy?
time in like 4 years, so you know it's East Coast, West Coast kind of deal. Sorry, I'll start doing it later in the
All right. Well,
afternoon, so
I'm
you-
the smart ass of the group, Troy Hooper, CEO of Hot Palate America, co-CEO of the Pepper Lunch brand worldwide.
Yeah.
565 Japanese fast casual concept stores in 18 countries and territories, but also the host of the Pineapple Perspective podcast, coming back strong under a new format. Let's just call it season 2. Season 2 coming back soon with all new vision and format and sponsors and all that. So that's great too. But anyway, yeah, just a restaurant industry veteran, been around 33 years. Just like to hop in and have a great conversation, learn about new partners, vendors, suppliers, and chop it up with our industry friends.
Amazing.
Troy, who do you guys use for hiring, and how do you get people?
It's a good co-host.
You know, I have the great fortune of being a franchisor and not having to give a shit about that anymore. But yeah,
What do your franchisees do?
What are your franchisees?
yeah, so it's funny. I have actually talked to probably 3 companies like the one we're going to hear from today in the last 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. There's quite a few out there. They're differentiated, right? And so it's like, how do you tell your story and get out of the pack? Because between, I think, recruiting / online onboarding, recruiting, and it is just one of the top things that I get solicited for right now every day. So there's a lot of people out there. That and phone AI, a lot of phone AI, a lot of
There are
answering your phone.
9
for you
phone
AI.
AI companies in Murtec in Vegas.
Yeah, I bet there was. So
Appreciate you, Troy. Charlie Eblin, welcome back. Who are you? What are you building? And what's the app that you use to hire?
Thank you. I am Charlie Eblin, owner, operator of Single Tree Woodfire Barbecue right here just south of Nashville, Tennessee in Murfreesboro. We are on a mission of becoming the Nike of barbecue is what we are building. And we are going to do that through helping build and grow our community through storytelling and the perfect plate of barbecue. So we hiring wise, the app that I use most for hiring is Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, sitting in front of a fire at 5 o'clock in the morning when the sun's coming up, making a video, as Troy was talking about earlier, that I have found is typically the best way to find people that will understand what I do, right? When you're live at 5:30 in the morning, if somebody sees that live, then they understand they're going to have to be up early to come work for me. So it's, trying to find like-minded people that want to help continuously build a brand, not just sell brisket. So
Amazing.
that's what we're
Charlie, welcome. Thank you guys for being here, and thanks to the community. Without further ado, let's bring up Stephanie from Swob. Stephanie, thank you for being here. The floor is yours.
Stephanie.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you everybody for joining and hearing your stories. Yes, my name is Stephanie, and I'm the co-founder of Swob. And what Swob is a recruiting platform that actually my brother and I, and yes, we still talk, yes, we still get along, created a few years ago. We started out in Canada. We grew across the country, and our mission was to really simplify hiring for high turnover industries. And in particular, our father worked in the restaurant industry and just knows how inefficient it is to recruit, how turnover exceeds over 70% plus per year. So we knew we had to do something. So we started here in Canada, started growing, and then the pandemic hit. And all of the clients that we were working with were completely shut down. And we knew we always wanted to expand into the United States, but that time just gave us the push. So we've been in the US for the last little while, and we were focusing on, again, high turnover industries. So retail, food service, warehouses, grocery stores. But the last year in particular, we've decided to really focus on the food service industry. That is where we're seeing the most struggle with high turnover or labor. And what we want to do is really simplify it. It shouldn't be complicated. So what we do is we really focus on hourly frontline workers. So that's our bread and butter. And especially with AI and the new technology available, our goal is to really simplify hiring as much as possible and implementing AI in order to actually get that human connection back. So yes, I said it. You use AI to have that human connection. So the last year, I've been having so many conversations with GMs, district managers, franchisees, to really understand and really try to solve these problems that they face. So through the last year of having these conversations, we have learned so much. And what I do is not necessarily sell Swob. It's more, we want to learn from you and build our tool that's actually solving the problems that you face every day. Yes, there's so many job boards out there, yet there's still such a struggle with labor. And why is that? So we're building Swob with real-time feedback from the people who are actually hiring. So I'm going to take you through a quick demo of Swob and just show you how quick and easy it is to post jobs, to receive candidates, because especially in today's world, candidates want to be reached out to within 24 hours. If you are not reaching out to a candidate fast, you are losing them to somebody else. And what we're finding too is the organizations that create that great company culture are really the ones that are successful. The ones where their GMs, their managers are in the back office going through resumes are the ones that are struggling. So I have my screen here. And what you do is when you sign up to Swob, you get a 30-day free trial because again, we really want you to see the tool, try it out for yourself, give us feedback. For us, feedback is how we grow. We're building this for you. If there's features that you say, hey, Stephanie, I would love to have this feature, tell me. We are all ears. And I think that's where we do a great job is we're really listening to what our customers want. So I like to say our customers are almost like our co-founders. So I have my screen here and I have a couple of jobs posted already. So I'm going to take you through the posting process. And what we have is our AI assistant, Emma. So again, Emma is meant to be your kind of hiring manager without hiring somebody. And it's really to get that time back so you could properly train your employees. You can show them the full restaurant, ultimately creating that great company culture so that your employees will then take care of your customers. So we're going to create a job here. So I'm just going to put this to the side here. So I'm going to post for a line cook and I'll show you just how quick it is to get this posted. So when is the application deadline? I'm going to pick next week, confirm. Is this part-time or full-time? I'm going to select all. Describe the job in a few sentences. So I'm going to write flipping burgers. And Emma will actually create a job description for you. So again, you don't have to waste time creating that job description. We want you back on the floor, training your employees properly. So here is a description she's come up with, and I'm going to use this. Okay, when would you like somebody to work? I'm going to write every day. What are the shifts you're hiring for? So I'm going to write day. Do you need somebody for weekends and holidays? Yes. When do you need them to start? ASAP. Hourly pay, so you could select what applies to you. How much experience do they need? So I'm going to select none. And where's the job located? So right now I'm just going to enter New York. Share. And what's the furthest commute that you want candidates applying within? So I'm going to put 10 miles because something we really want to ensure is, especially for these hourly positions, we want workers within a certain radius. We don't want to go through resumes to find that somebody's applying from out of the state, out of the country, and waste that manager's time going through these applications for individuals who aren't even qualified for that position. You can actually upload a logo if you'd like, but for now, I'm just going to skip this. And I'm all set, ready to go. So here's a quick summary of my job. I see here, looks good. I'm going to submit. And there we go. My job is live. So Emma has helped me create this job. And what this is a QR code. So what we like to encourage, especially if with today's technology, we know that Gen Z especially live on their phone. Everybody lives on their phone. So if you put these QR codes within your restaurant location, it directs that candidate who's applying for a job. If somebody were to come in with a resume, or if somebody's eating at your restaurant and wants to apply to the job, they could scan this QR code and apply to that job directly here. And as you saw Emma for the employer, on the flip side, she does the same thing for the candidate. So helps them put together a resume, helps to make sure that they are qualified to work at your location. And what we can also do as well is we have a line of code that can go into your website as well, so that we can be your job board on your website, so that everything is streamlined right to Swob. You shouldn't have to be posting through multiple job boards. You don't need to have people coming in with their resumes. Keep it simple. It should be through one process so that you can get, like I said, that time back so you could properly train your employees. And that's it. That's how you post a job. So I'm going to stop sharing my camera here. But I'm excited for what's to come with Emma. I would love feedback, any tips, anything that you see that you'd say, hey, this would make a great feature, whatever it is. And then within the I forgot to mention, within the job posting, you'll be able to see the candidates as well. And once Emma starts to learn what you're looking for, she'll start to rank these candidates as well. So you'll be able to see, this is my top candidate, and how you get to reach out is by saying, you just click a button, they get a text message. Again, people want to apply through mobile. You'll be notified as well right away when somebody applies, because that's key right now. We're seeing that candidates think after 24 hours, if you're not responding to them, they've moved on. So we want to capture the attention of these candidates right away. So speed in hiring is huge.
Awesome. Great presentation, Stephanie. Let's go around. Charlie Edlin, I appreciate you joining. I know you're on a tight schedule. What is your feedback for Stephanie, and what are your questions? Go ahead.
Stephanie, thank you for presenting to us. Number one, I have sat in your seat, and I know it can be a little nerve-wracking, especially with this pool of sharks that we have sitting with us. You know, not to mention the guy in the pink shirt that says Pepper Lunch on it, who will probably give you a hard time.
Salmon? Is that salmon?
Salmon.
It's a salmon shirt.
He said it's red. I had salmon, man. It's the best.
It's a salmon shirt.
It's salmon. He's fishy.
Yeah. I love it. So I do have a couple of questions.
Yes.
For me, being a single unit, every dollar matters, right? And so I have computed my cost of hiring at somewhere, once you include training and the Indeed ads and all the things, it's somewhere in the $700 to $800 range that it cost me to hire a new employee, right? So, you know, like the first question I would have is, how much? You said it's free for the first 30 days, but how much is it going to cost me after that?
So what we have, it's a monthly subscription of $199 a month, and then based on how many locations you have, it actually gets cheaper. So the more locations you have, the less it goes down. So, or the more it goes down. So 4 to 5 locations, $169 per month. Then the next set is $129 per month. And I love that you brought up the Indeed example. We understand that you're budgeting and looking at numbers and want to make sure that every dollar does count. With Indeed, sometimes what we found was the unknown. Even for us, when we would post a job sometimes on there, we saw that your budgets can fluctuate. You can go through a budget within a week. How many clicks you're getting, those might not even be qualified candidates. So for us, especially knowing that you're always hiring in these industries, We want to tell you it's $199 a month. That is it. Like, that's the number, no matter how many job postings you have, no matter how many hires you have, so that you know and you can work within your own budget to actually understand that this is what I'm paying and that is it. So it's a monthly subscription, same number.
So with that being said, is it a year-long contract of $199 a month, or is it, hey, I need to hire 2 people, I'll pay you $200, and then that gets me enough for, if I hire 2 people inside the first month, then I can cancel it and start over later.
Exactly. We want to make it as flexible and easy as possible for you. So if there's a busy hiring season, for example, and you want to use it for 6 months and then pause your account, come back the following month, that is completely fine with us. We want to work with you and make sure that what we're doing is helping you, but also flexible within your schedule.
Awesome. And my last question, and I'll leave you alone, and I got to go back to tending my smoker. But if you post your job, does it just post on Swob, or can people that don't have Swob see the post?
For right now, it's just posting on Swob. However, great point. We are working on something where we're able to post on multiple job boards, but stream those candidates through Swob. So we get you more candidates. However, we want to make sure that they're qualified, because for us, we'd rather give you quality versus quantity. You don't need to be going through hundreds of resumes. We'd rather give you the top 3 people who are actually going to show up to an interview. That is the goal for us. However, we are working on that feature to come out soon, where you can post on multiple job boards, one time through Swob, and then it automatically posts for you.
Awesome. I love it.
Great questions.
Good luck. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Charlie. Thanks for joining, man.
Yes,
Appreciate
thank you.
you.
Give Singletree Nation a podcast follow, and Singletree Nation a follow on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the channels, and connect with everybody. Anybody that's watching, please reach out to the community. We have a Slack channel. We have a LinkedIn group chat. We have an Instagram group chat. If you guys want to get signed up for that, just email mike@calibbq.media, and Mike, our producer, will help you get all situated. Troy Hooper, I know you're on a busy, tight line. Thank you for joining. We always appreciate the difference of a single unit versus an enterprise level brand. Your problems are the same problems as Charlie's, just at a different scale and international. So what's your questions? What's your feedback?
Yeah, a couple of things. Good job, Stephanie. I hear these pitches a lot. If you heard me when you're in the green room, I think I've talked to 3 companies like yours in the last week. I'm getting hit up a lot by a lot of them. I've been looking at them for a couple of years. I have the great privilege of not needing to hire today, although that will change soon. So I'm paying attention, because I'm going to have some corporate stores and reasons to do that. But a couple of things. I have some thoughts, but a couple of questions. One is, how much of the system is automated, or what's your roadmap to automating many things like the auto post on all of the job boards, like the auto generating of interview appointments, auto responsing, et cetera? What does that look like today, and what's the roadmap to make that happen?
So the auto scheduling is supposed to happen within the next month, and then within the next 2 months is when we want to be able to post on multiple job boards. So those right now are the top priorities for us, because we think that obviously that is very necessary, especially when it comes to no-shows for interviews, where we see that when you have a schedule and when a manager is posting their schedule and people can click that they want this interview time, that no-shows have been reduced. So for us, that is an aggressive timeline. Within the next 2 months, we expect that to be completed.
How old is the company, or how long have you been around?
The company is about 7 years old. We've been around for a little while, but before it was focused on retail, food service. So we kind of were all over the place, but now our focus is really in the food service industry, and that's it. And that's why even just having these conversations and learning and hearing the feedback, we are putting together features specific for the industry.
Yeah. I didn't really hear a lot about the words AI. How's AI going to play into your platform?
Yes. So Emma is our AI agent. And so she is going to be the one who is taking care of the scheduling, taking care of the outreach. So for us, and even as she continues to learn and see what an employer wants when they're looking for a candidate, she will start to rank the candidates as well.
What about optimizing the posting, making it more compelling, more interesting, more visible?
Definitely. So for us, that is something for sure we want Emma to continue to learn. Even within the job description as well. She can help create a job description that optimizes more candidates as well and really draws in somebody's attention, because we're also seeing right now is when you have a job description, you really want to also showcase company culture as well, especially with Gen Z applying to your roles. They care about what the company is doing. They want to see that they're taking care of the employees. They're a great organization that's doing like community service, for example. So for us, we really want to showcase that as well and educate employers on posting that a bit more within their job descriptions, because especially with Gen Z and wellness, like that's exactly what they care about.
Awesome. Thank you, Troy.
Very good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep.
Okay, got a little sketchy there. All right, last thing is I'll just give you some a thought, some feedback, my suggestion. I like to steal Shawn Walchef's thunder on the storytelling piece. Look, there's a lot of companies doing what you do. There's a lot of companies that are way ahead of you in the development and whatnot. I think you do absolutely need to think about how you're going to differentiate yourself and not just do the same thing that 200 other companies are doing and maybe 10 are doing really well. My suggestion is you got to get a story down and don't ever click on, don't demo the platform. Don't block and tackle, as they say. That's for your job to sell is to connect with me, to get me to understand that you understand my business, for you to understand enough about my business so that you can get a demo scheduled and you can contextually display to me how you solve my problem and save me money and save me time and save me heartache and reduce my turnover, which, by the way, that's what you're really trying to do is ultimately reduce turnover, sort of sell your way out of a job ultimately, because the lower the turnover, the less candidates you have, the less I need you. But that takes time. And if the culture's there, it's there. But yeah, I would just suggest that you come up with a pitch, whether it's, the 90-second, the 3-minute, and the 7-minute version, but that pitch is learning about me and my business if you have a one-on-one or a small group, and not telling me that you understand my business and then listing every problem every business has ever had to try to spray and pray, right? Just, hey, in a business of your size, Troy, and your format and system, how much involvement do you have? What are your franchisees' pain points? Blah, 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 right? That's one use case, but understanding these different use cases, right? Charlie is very different from me, is very different from Joe Fontana, who's got, 14 corporate stores or whatever, right? So that's one is information gathering. And then when you do tell the story, contextualize that you're solving the problems that we have, illuminated to you specifically, and give examples of how you're solving the problem. Don't block and tackle. Don't worry about features. Don't worry. None of that matters. How the system works doesn't matter. This is an emotional thing, right? You're saving me time. You're saving me money. You're getting me better employees who are going to last longer. We're going to reduce my total cost of acquisition and investment in an employee, blah, 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 right? That's what you're really doing. Sell that story is my recommendation to you. Perfect. You're not going to win on features.
Got it.
Great feedback.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Troy.
Feedback. Super helpful. Yeah. I think, Stephanie, the fact that you and Alex are working side by side is a huge competitive advantage to what Troy's talking about. The big platforms, obviously, you're not going to be working with the founders of the company.
No.
That's a competitive advantage you definitely should lean into. Mike and Garo, feedback.
Yeah, I had a couple things in my mind. That's what Troy's great mic drop, long mic drop, dropped for a long time.
Are you saying Troy didn't land the plane? Because that's a Jason Berkowitz. Troy needs to land that plane.
That was good. I'll simplify it. I think what Troy's saying is people only hear what they care about. So speak to that.
Got it.
That takes some Q&A to understand what it is. Because we're all busy. Nobody wants a new tool. Nobody wants a new app. Nobody wants to invest in anything. Nobody wants to go to school. We do it for a purpose to turn out a specific outcome. And the better you are at knowing what people care about, what their outcomes are, the more likely you are to trigger listening that you can work with. I'm curious, like, what sets you apart? Like, because Troy mentioned there's a lot of people doing what you do. What would you say is your competitive advantage, or or I was going to say marginal utility, but it's kind of an economic term. It's like, what do you do that people would be like, oh, I'm willing to not only try this, but even pay a premium for it? If not that you're charging a premium, but that they'd be willing to.
I think, first of all, it comes down to also the fact that we are building in real time and really understanding with having these virtual coffees, meeting individuals to get the proper feedback so that you can get back onto the floor and hire. And for us, we have a long roadmap of all these different features that we really do feel from hearing this feedback that we will be able to solve. There are so many job boards out there. And why is that? There's still such a struggle with labor. So yes, there's a lot of job boards out there. However, going after more of the hourly positions and just focused in those positions versus trying to do everything, I think will really set us apart. And as we continue to use AI, it's really the fact that we want to eliminate repetitive tasks so that you have more time to connect and build that company culture so that you are able to have that great customer experience and ultimately reduce turn.
Anything else, Mike?
Sorry, can you guys hear me? Oh, there we go. My whole computer froze. I think it's Troy. I don't know.
I like it.
No, the other thing I was gonna. No, that's fine because I've got an unstable connection. You guys move on. Thank you very much. It was great.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Ben Morgan, thank you for joining today. We appreciate it. Welcome to the community. I know you've been on Digital Hospitality, but welcome to the Rising Tides. We do it every Wednesday, every Friday. Friday is our restaurant tech show. But Ben, go ahead. Any feedback?
It's great to be here. I've seen all these faces, and it's great to be on the same show. For sure. I'm jealous of Michael's cigar, so I have mine sitting right here too, because I can't go outside. In case you lose me, this is a windstorm of all windstorms going on today. So
where are you located, Ben? Just
outside of Indianapolis, so
right.
Suburb of Indianapolis. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy weather, and my power is like flickered 3 times since I've been on here. So just a heads up. So Stephanie, great job. I guess we're two unit location independent restaurant. We use a lot of folks with friends, family. We're starting to get on Facebook and Instagram and start to go after employees that way. And I could see possibly where your AI agent could help with that. So it's going to be unknown to us though. But we have used Indeed in the past and those job boards. So I guess I was trying to figure out how's that talent pool, get to you, or all these folks that somehow get to your app. And you mentioned you're working on that. So that would be one thing, just to make sure that, listen, is there enough? What's the difference with what we're seeing here? But I guess also is, how do you then line up, or how do you make my life easier pushing out, ads on Insta or Facebook, and then utilizing your AI agent, I guess, would be a benefit there. And also, you've been in business 5 years. I guess some numbers would be good to have, like, how have you reduced turnover for certain folks? Do you have any data around that where they've used your service as opposed to some job boards or walk-ins? That kind of data would be very helpful too. And I think that would help set you apart some, if you haven't already.
Yes. So I don't have the exact numbers, I'll be honest with you, but one of the restaurants that was super successful here when we were working with them in Canada before we made this switch to the United States, was what they did was they were using the QR codes. They were leveraging the website link as well, so that all the candidates were streamlined through one system, which really helped them get back to training their employees properly to build that company culture, ultimately reducing turn. So for us, we saw that was super successful, because if you're wasting time going through, like I heard a horror story recently where a manager was so at capacity that they just got an individual who had a pulse. That we always hear, we just need a pulse. And what I found, which was super scary, was they were so backed up that they didn't even have time to properly train their employee and show them the entire restaurant. Like, as a customer, if I'm waiting 20 minutes for a fork because your employee doesn't know where the forks are, that is obviously a bad experience. And I'm sure we all know that. I think it's 51% of people will not return to a restaurant if they've had one bad experience. So for us, we really want to just keep it simple and streamline everything through one process. So they were very successful with using Swob so that they could put more time back into that training and building the culture so that employees felt valued. They didn't feel like it was just a job that I'm working on the weekends. They were able to also see their growth path as well. And ultimately, those candidates who became employees, they were trained properly and they were able to even promote within, which we see is it's huge within the industry. Obviously, if you're promoting within, that's showing the candidates that this organization really does care for you. So that's just one example. And going back to how we get people as well is leveraging your own website. So if anybody goes to your site, we leverage that because we'll be your job board. Using those QR codes, which everybody knows. Of course, social media. We are heavily on social media. We will promote. We will boost your postings as well, which we have a team that helps us do that as well. So we can focus within your area as well, because again, you don't want candidates applying from out of the state. And of course, posting with multiple job boards to get those candidates through the application process, but stay within Swob. So it's just one job board you're logging into versus multiple job boards.
Got it. Well, we've definitely noticed that we've been trying to work on our storytelling this year more than ever. We started with the first of the year with my daughter, and she's been knocking out videos. We are pushing out six or seven a week. It's been fantastic. And I have noticed that with our website and our job board there, that we're getting a lot more applicants just naturally. I think obviously it's working, it's pushing out. But what we are not able to do is keep an eye on those, right? And look at them consistently and making sure there's nobody's there watching them. It's up to me or my son or whoever to click and look and determine if this somebody would be a valued candidate, in the near future. So yeah, maybe there's something there, definitely how we already have that incoming, and then the AI assistant or whatever with Swob could help with that, and then push out, hey, make sure you're talking to this one, especially on those busier weeks. So
exactly. And using the AI agent as well. So to reach out to these candidates, but even you saw how quickly it was to post a job. So on the flip side for the candidate, it's that fast as well. Candidates don't want to go to your website, apply there, then bring in their there is so much of an application process that really needs to be cut down, because sadly they want a job, but they don't care to fill out this form or this form. That's when you lose people. So we really want to keep it simple, quick, so that you get that information and ultimately hire.
Very good. Cool.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Hildy,
it.
you're up. We can't hear you, Hildy, unfortunately.
You look good, though.
It looks good.
Yeah, you
Ready
look
to
great.
rock? Ready to go?
How about now?
We
Yes.
can hear you now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. One of these days I'll figure it out. I'd like a standing ovation.
You're all good.
Hi, I'm Hildy, and I mostly sell swag for a living. But Stephanie, currently you and I are kind of in a similar situation where I'm reaching out to restaurants all over the country to promote my Broadway sing-along.
Nice.
And this Sunday night will be my first time doing an event near my house. And so far I have sold 87 tickets.
Wow, amazing.
For a restaurant.
Get it.
That is, they went and bought a ticket through my ticketing service, and it says you have to order 2 items per person for the restaurant. So if you want to see how these people are on their knees praying to me that they're about to have 87 people on Sunday that they were not going to have, they are worshiping me. So I'm currently going all, trying to reach out to people. Where are you? Are you in Charleston, South Carolina? Well, find me a restaurant with at least 100 seats, and they have to have a screen and speakers and a microphone, and I got to be able to connect my computer so everybody in the room sings out loud together. So I'm sharing this with you because one of the things we had to find, and we needed a storyteller, not someone who kind of showed the background. We wanted something better than Eventbrite. And I didn't know anything about this. I sell swag for a living, but now I'm the Broadway sing-along girl, although 80s sing-along is coming soon. So we knew with Eventbrite, they charge like $5 ticketing fees. And people were like, well, but you're saying it's 18, but when I'm going to check out, it's almost 24. So we started doing a deep dive into the competitors of Eventbrite, and there's a bunch of them. But we ended up going with a company that no one's ever heard of called Squad Up, which is a stupid name for a ticketing company, whatever. But Squad Up got me with their storytelling about white labeling. I never even heard what white labeling is, but you tell me that someone can buy tickets to my event and not have to go to an Eventbrite link. They're doing it right on my website. That story had me, and their customer service has been unbelievable. So I say to you, Stephanie, we should keep in touch, because every restaurant, when I tell my story about bringing, I mean, it's going to be over 100 people by the time Sunday gets here to their restaurant, and they had to do nothing. They don't have to pay me nothing, and know that every single seat is going to order 2 things. There's no one on this call who isn't worshiping what I'm saying right now. They're kind of mind blown because they never knew that I was going to be this successful. Like, they're hearing the sing-along chick that sells t-shirts, but now I'm a completely different animal. And my goal is to get to a point where I'm at 300 to 1,000, and maybe it's not a restaurant, maybe it's a theater. But I like the idea because my demographic is 40 years and up. So this clientele, they want to sit, they want to have dinner, they want to have drinks, and they want to be entertained, So anyway, point being, tell the story for sure. And one of the things I'd like you to tell the story now, because you're live on my LinkedIn. I don't know about anybody else. Where did Swob, the name, come from? I'd love to hear.
Oh, thank you for asking. So Swob, before we used to kind of position ourselves, before AI and Emma came out, as the Tinder for jobs. So candidates used to swipe left and right. So it was the SW in swipe and the OB in job, and we mirrored both of them together to create Swob.
Very creative. And you should tell that story.
Thank you. I will. I appreciate it.
I think we all resonate with that a lot more than, again, the behind the scenes thing, like everybody else was saying. So best of luck to you. I will definitely follow you, and we will chat again at another time. Thanks, Shawn.
Thank you, Hildy. Appreciate you. Chris Tripoli, you're up, my friend. Thanks for being here.
What's up, Chris?
Chris is in the house.
Good to see you. Thanks, Shawn. Good to see everybody. Stephanie, nice meeting you. I enjoy staying current. I love watching these presentations. You did a good presentation.
Thank you.
The first few thoughts that popped into my mind, others have presented. Like Troy said, the best presentations are the one that speaks to my benefit, not so much your features, not how it works, how you're solving my problem. Enough's been said about that. So I would, I think, do more of that. To speaking to your crowded field that you keep talking to, because you're right, it's a crowded field. I would definitely highlight some of your benefits. The idea of the flat fee is a benefit. The idea that you can break due to seasonality, come back, not a long-term contract. Very easy. Doesn't sound like you've got a horrible contract default issue. Bingo. That's a benefit to me. So I would include that. You just have to remember to always underline your point of difference, because it's a crowded market. AI is not new. I love your Emma. Other people have different names. So that's not as big of a difference as how it's going to benefit me, my time, my budget. You mentioned that in this crowded field, with the amount of job, companies out there, we still have a problem. And that's true. I wouldn't address that because you don't have the answer to that. So we don't want to keep bringing up a problem unless you have a solution. We have a labor problem in our industry that's an industry-wide issue. Many people don't like the hourly wages. Many people don't like the work. There's fewer people coming into the marketplace. We lost people during COVID. They got bigger jobs doing delivery. They didn't come back to their bartending. So that's going to get you into an issue that you don't have the answers for. So the idea that, we know, however, what you do have the answer for, though, is you deliver a better quality staff member. That idea of the old fashioned, you walk in, I need somebody. I think you refer to it as I hired for a heartbeat. See, bingo, that's what you're solving. You're solving my otherwise choice, which is I look at old applications in a file. How old is that? Somebody walks in. Thank God you walked in. I need someone Friday. How old is that? So you're raising the quality level. I would talk more about that. Now, lastly, I want to throw at you something you might know because you've probably come across. It was new to me, though. But a lot of restaurantowner.com members, which are all independent restaurant operators, have answered some of their labor practices as the fact that incentivizing current staff to have fun and make postings has been their newest, best, better than a job board. That's going to be the Gen Z, I think, new competition to job posting boards. I saw some. I mean, you incentivize the guys in the kitchen to say, come work with me. Here's what we need. Here's what I'm doing. Here's why it's fun. They personalize it. It's on social. They make YouTube videos. And bingo, people say, I want to work with her. I want to work with him. I think that's a new level of competition that's going to be out there.
Chris,
thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your feedback. That was great.
Amazing stuff. And this is a quick plug for Substack. Joe Fontana just started a Substack. Bruce Nelson also has a Substack. We have a restaurant technology Substack. It's a great platform, but go and read Joe's Substack, specifically answering Chris the nightmare that he had incentivizing his team. Joe, can you share real quickly? I want you all to go read the Substack because it was so good. But Joe was so good and his team was so good at incentivizing each other. What happened?
Oh, we ended up we hired all these kids. There's about 20 high school boys, all friends. At one point, they're all crushing it. You know, as they working together, they're all best friends. Well, these knuckleheads decided to have a fight club in the restaurant. So they closed the restaurant early, first time ever, an hour close. And then they cleared the dining room, invited all their friends over, bought in boxing gloves, and then bet till like 2 a.m. on them beating the crap out of each other. And yeah, we had to fire like half of them right after that. And they got caught because they put it on Snapchat. That's how they got caught.
Who said we don't have fun in this industry?
That's what I'm telling you. Like, we need more restaurant owners getting the manager log on platforms like Substack so that we all can learn.
That's
Joe,
like a scene out of the movie The Gentleman.
Joe, go ahead and give some feedback.
Stephanie, we've had ups and downs, but I'll tell you what my goal is. I always think that our team should be hiring every week, regardless if they need someone or not. Because I always categorize, we have A players, B players, and C players. And the A players, you don't need to tell them to do anything. The B players just need a little encouragement, and the C players need to get off the bus. Yes. But if you constantly have a pool of candidates that you're interviewing, you could hire someone who comes across great and get away those C players. So my question is, if you put your QR code on my website, we get about 100 to 200 people that come to our website that apply every month. They would click on the link. Can the AI get them to the interview of them walking in the door automatically without my manager even knowing? So I set up a time, let's say every Thursday between 2 p.m. right after lunch rush to 5 p.m. and we can have 30-minute increments where just candidates are walking in. So my GM, we call them store leaders, they have no idea. Just someone walks in, hey, I'm here for my interview, and the store leader knows every Thursday they have that. Is that what I was hearing out of what you were telling me?
Yes, that's exactly what's in the works that we're trying to get out within the next month or two. So I'm happy you brought that up because it should be like Emma should be your kind of HR person that's there who's just taking care of it so that your GMs can just take the interview and go from there.
Cool. Yeah, because I think to me that's a game changer.
I just want to underline that first point, though, Joe. That's such a strong point of hiring by design, not waiting for the need. The idea of always hiring because you're always improving. That's a point that I think is sometimes overlooked by too many restaurant operators.
And you might interview 5 people on a Thursday, and none of them are great. But you're going to find, if you do that every Thursday, you're going to find a gem where you're like, oh, we got to hire this person, whether we have room or not. And there's always turnover in our business, and they could be great. We've had these high school kids who work for us. They go off to junior college. They're amazing. They'll work for us for 4 years, but then they eventually go to university or they graduate college and they're on to get in a new job. So it's not, we're having turnover not for any reason besides they're just moving on to the next chapter in their life. It's not because we have a bad culture or anything like that. So that always happens. You know, every year, every 2 years, every 4 years, we're starting to see a turnover of our staff just because we hire young and whatnot.
If Swob can remove the general manager and anyone from an admin side and literally just bring qualified candidates for interviews, we do the same thing. Every Thursday, we do open interviews, but like there is a manual process behind somebody going, well, come in on Thursday, responding. Like if literally you guys can go where like 3 o'clock, 3:15, 3:30, and like every single week a pipeline is full. Like that's a huge differentiator. Yeah.
Because I think too, like, you know, we will schedule 5 interviews, and the manual process that he's talking about, you call 5 different people. Yeah. Hey, you're available. You got a little bit of restaurant experience. Great. You know, you're willing. And maybe one of them out of the 5 show up.
Yeah.
And you're like, so, but if you can eliminate all that administration,
yes,
and all of a sudden that one person out of the 5 that Emma talked to does show up, that might be the rock star that you've been looking for.
100%. And that's exactly what I was trying to mention before was we're not trying to use AI to remove that human connection. If anything, we're trying to use the AI to remove those repetitive tasks, like calling people to see if they're coming in for the interview, so the manager can get back onto the floor and train and have great company culture. So that is exactly our goal, is to get back that human connection, because how are you supposed to have a leader and somebody to look up to on the floor when they're stuck in a back room making these phone calls, going through resumes? You want to show by example. And that's exactly why we want Emma to be that person to remove those repetitive tasks, so that come Thursday, you have 5 people there. And another thing too is we want to give the candidates reminders as well, keep in their face, so that we start to reduce the no-shows, because we know that obviously no-shows are a huge problem. It's such a waste of time and just so disrespectful to the employer. So for us, we're really trying to do what we can to continue to put it in that person's face to say, hey, your interview's Thursday at 1. Make sure you're there. Make sure you're there. So I completely agree with that. And I love that feedback. So thank you very much, Joe.
Stephanie, can you just walk me through, like, say I go to 1925 Pub House and I click on the link, pretend I'm the employee, walk me through what I see and like what happens from the employee point of view.
Yes. So as a candidate, if you were to have the QR code, so we also have like different QR codes that if you were to put in your like drive-through, or if you want to put at the cash, or even in your break room, we know referrals are a huge having somebody else say something or apply to a job like that, that's just incredible, having referrals. So we also want to encourage your own staff to kind of recruit as well. So you basically pull out your cell phone, you scan the QR code, it'll take you to that specific job that you are hiring for. And similar to the experience with the employer side, how Emma was, you'll go through that experience where you're putting in your information. And then from there, your application has been sent to the employer. You as the employer will get a notification through your cell phone, because we're trying to make it fast. We know that after 24 hours, a candidate's already on to the next thing. So we want to capture that individual as quickly as possible. So using your cell phone to reach out to that candidate, then to schedule the interview right then and there. It's all done through mobile, or if you prefer, you can also reach out through desktop. If they have their phone number, email, whatever it may be, it's completely up to you. But we want to keep it as simple and easy as possible.
So the candidate is basically getting text messages from Emma going back and forth?
Yes, so they're on our Swob website. So Emma is basically going through the resume, kind of like how the employer side was. So they go through putting your resume, when are you available? We ask questions like, are you eligible to work in the United States? How many hours are you able to work? What's your location? How do you even get to work? Do you rely on transit, bus? Do you walk to work? Whatever it may be. So we know too that what's your form of transportation? We want to make sure that this person shows up to their shift on time every day, whenever they're working, for example. And so then as a candidate, you answer all these questions. It kind of forms a resume for you. And then once you submit that, it's been sent to the employer, and then the individual who's applied to the job, the candidate, will also receive a text message if they've been called in for an interview right now.
Okay. Thanks for answering that.
Elizabeth Doss, you're up. Thanks, Joe.
Hi there, Elizabeth Doss here. I am a social media manager, content creator, and I also create animated GIFs for brands to use across social platforms. Sorry, I have a cough. Trying not to cough during this.
You can do it. You got this.
I can do this. I was singing at church last night, and like the whole time, I'm like, oh my god, I can't see the. I can't cough during this song. Anyway, so I had a couple questions for you. My first question is, can you copy and post job links? Could someone preload positions that aren't live so that it's a quick pre-approved through management, and they say, hey, we need a new line cook, but they've already got that installed, so it's a quick, like, from drafts to a live description, if that makes sense, and not having to redo the process with Emma for every time.
Exactly. Yes, that is something that is coming right now, is where you can duplicate. So if you already posted for a line cook, you obviously don't need to repost that position. You can duplicate it as well, so that all that information is already saved for you.
Brilliant. And my other thought was, because I was thinking about Ben, because I have a lot of friends in and around the Muncie area. And for instance, there's Ball State University that's near there, or there's IU that's near the Anderson University near your Anderson store. And do you have like templates or idea generating for the restaurants to say, here's a template of your QR code to be able for one of your staff to go and actually post it physically on the job board at these universities, or even the refer a friend template that you can post that, like, and that it already puts that QR code in with the refer a friend. So when they capture the picture and send it, I just didn't know if you guys had a database where it populates those templates for people to be able to post physically out in the world.
Great question. Yes, we do. We have a restaurant. So once you sign up, a restaurant hiring kit that we send your way, which has all the templates, whether you're posting something even in your washroom, if it's at the cash drive-through, if you want to bring it to a university and post it there, we have these templates. So it's easy for you to just drop in the QR code, or we can do it ourselves. We can even ship it to you if you don't have a printer available, like whatever it may be. We want to just keep it as simple, as easy as possible, because we know you're busy. We want to take that away, and we can even print it, ship it directly to you. So it's nice and easy. And that is your location where you get these preloaded templates.
Very, very cool. And so, and my last quick thing, I did take a look at the Swob Instagram account, and you guys aren't afraid of humor and memes and all this stuff, which is super, super fun. And in the spirit of Shawn Walchef and storytelling and be the show, not the commercial, what is one of the wildest like stories from or funniest or whatever from start to finish of an employee posting and that person getting the job, et cetera, and just one of those stories? And how could you retell that? I mean, the end idea of this is to basically recreate that moment and post it on your social media. But I was just curious about what would that story actually be? Because I know Troy was kind of going down that line too.
Mm-hmm. We actually had one of the restaurants that we worked with here in Canada, one of our extremely successful restaurants, they were posting a job with us. And because they were reaching out right away, they posted a job and was able to hire a candidate within 24 hours. So for us, that was the fastest hire we've had, was within the 24 hours, because that manager was responsive and they were quick to getting that candidate in for the interview, saw that that candidate was right for the position, and hired right away. They wasted no time.
Brilliant. That's awesome.
Awesome. Great job, Stephanie. Real quick, let's do one tip for Stephanie or for any restaurant tech company founder or sales rep that is pitching restaurants. Chris, go ahead and start us off. One tip. You're muted. You're still muted, Chris.
Okay, I'm back. That could be the tip. Make sure the mic is on when you're talking.
That helps with storytelling when you have audio.
Yeah, people listen better when you're actually, connected. I think the tip for anyone pitching a restaurant today is to make sure that we are impacting whatever our features are. We're impacting the training of staff, because that was the point that I was making. Everyone knows at whatever level, the idea of good initial training gets staff started correctly. But the need for ongoing development is what keeps them there, producing better, staying longer, and that's what ends that that horrible retention issue that you spoke to earlier. That's my tip.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Ben, what's your one tip? Thanks for being here, Ben. We appreciate it.
Yeah, all good. My tip would be, I guess, that kind of the storytelling with us, like what's my pain point and figuring out that pain point. And I think some of it that we touched on really well was that all these candidates coming into our own website, like we don't miss those candidates. We don't miss the good ones. And your service, I think, will really help with that, because there's a lot of times where I'll just go and check. My manager's supposed to, but I'll look at it and I'll say, hey, did you see this guy or did you see this girl? This was awesome. And I don't know how many times where I've come back and said, oh my gosh, we still have that employee and I found her, and I kind of rub it in their face a little bit because I want to make sure that, they're looking at the board. Right. So I think that's where you could really help us. And I think, Elizabeth hit the nail on the head too. I mean, I think what we're going to be doing is a lot of the social media stuff. I'm going to be really telling stories more and more, and what Shawn's selling each and every day, is that as we do that, what do we have that can help capture those folks through our website? And I appreciate Joe. I appreciate the little plug when you said the 1925 Pub House. So.
You got it, Ben.
Thank you.
Hildy, what's your one tip? Go for it.
Okay, Stephanie, within 24 hours, I challenge you to use this last hour and create a LinkedIn comment story about how you've grown by being on this podcast or whatever we call it these days. Tag every one of us. And then for the next week, with enthusiasm in your eyes, anybody you talk to, you'd be like, you can't believe how great this was. So that will help Shawn and all of us have more Stephanies in the future. And it will help you start improving your storytelling immediately. I challenge you. 24 hours. I want to be tagged on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Great job, Hildy.
Accepted. Thank you.
I love it. I love assigning homework. Great job. Elizabeth, you're up.
Well, and I'll give you a leg up, Stephanie. When I reshared this on LinkedIn, all the people that are on the show were tagged in that. So if you're looking to connect with all of the people and be able to tag them, that's a way that you can do that. When Troy was talking, I was like, man, I wish I would have had a Troy mentor when I was first starting out, because girlfriend did complete demonstrations, like in LinkedIn, and realizing that I need to show the value of and get them thinking about how they can use my product, rather than getting in the nitty gritty of showing the back end and all the other stuff that I was working on. So that, to me, if someone is pitching, I'm learning more and more. People want to imagine themselves in that situation. So that story that you told about the 24-hour turnaround, there are restaurant owners that need a 24-hour turnaround. And you're telling them, well, some of that's on you being able to respond quickly. And so anyway, I just wanted to say, but telling that story lets people know, oh, I can imagine myself in this circumstance, and let me see how this is possible. So anyway, great job, and I'll hand it back to you, Shawn.
Great job, Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Alex Hermosi, what he talks about is when you're selling the dream vacation to Maui, picture yourself and your wife and your kids on the beach. Keep the prospect on the beach. Don't talk about the airplane ride and going through TSA and the baggage and the delays and how long it's going to take to get to the, and that's what happens when all of us, especially in the tech space, start to talk about products and features. It's like, owners, we need to get to Maui. Get us to Maui and tell us what it's going to be like when my son is, seeing his turtle for the first time. Those are the things that are going to help us and definitely help you. Go ahead. You want to go?
Sell the sizzle, not the steak. No, just what you were saying, and we deal with a lot of high school kids, a lot of youngsters. I think getting them to text messages faster in the conversation, it's going to get more candidate engagement than keeping them going back and messaging through Swob.com. I think you get them to the text message ASAP, and you have full conversations.
Awesome stuff. Thank you all, Chris, Ben, Hildy, Elizabeth. Joe for flying all the way from Chicago just to be on the show. It's not for the tri-tip and the brisket, but if anyone's going to Restaurant Franchise and Innovation Summit in San Diego next week, please let me know. Joe will be there. Mike Ungaro will be there. Troy Hooper will be there. A lot of restaurant leaders will be in San Diego next week. Stephanie, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it. We'll see you. Stephanie and Alex will also be in San Diego, so we can't wait to see you, introduce you to more of the restaurant owners and operators and tech brands that'll be in attendance. So thank you all. We appreciate you. Next Wednesday, Rising Tides Live. Please join us, and we do it every Friday and every Wednesday. Stephanie, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate all the feedback and tips. Thank you.
And Stephanie, can you hold for 1 minute just after we end? Thanks.
Have a great weekend.
All ships rise with the tide.
That's right. Boom. Let's go. Thanks, Ben.